All right, sorry about that. So here's how you do it. Basically, you just click on an alert and you'll see the alert will show up in the symbol box. You can pick how many shares you want to trade, the market, the price you want to get in at. If you're shorting, you sell. If you're going long, you buy. Now, at this point, to practice, the small gap breakout, I don't doubt it. I do not doubt it at all. Yeah, we don't have a way to show an increasing relative volume. Okay, Roman? I think I know what you're saying. We don't have a way to show increasing relative volume the way you're talking so that, we have a relative volume increase. Well, it's not so much a 5 minute chart, two or three consecutive candles. I mean, we have a consecutive candles. You can try this. I mean, we do have a consecutive candles filter. No, consecutive. Oops, consecutive. So there are your consecutive. So if you want them to be up, so here are your time frames. If you want them to be up, you obviously put them in the min. If you want them to be down, say 3 or 4 or whatever that number is, you put a minus here. So that's how you'll get your consecutive candles, and then you just use the R relative volume less than like a max of 1, and see what happens. But then to find the next three, you're looking for an increase in the relative volume. We don't have something like that. Is it ever? In terms of market taking it on the chin today, is it ever? So look at this, another big down. So guys, I mean, if you want to go long something, I mean, you just got to be awfully careful, of course. It has to be, even the alpha stocks, on a day like today are going to be highly suspect. Not in the same alert. Yeah. Just not in the same alert, Sam. Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't use that term. I guess it means that it's up here and it looks heavy, so it might be ripe for a fall. I don't use that term, but I'm assuming that's what they mean. Overbought. There you go. Keep waiting to see if this is going to fall any more, the T-con. Volume is completely tailed off. No enthusiasm right now. One moment, please. I just haven't been talking. I'm just waiting to see. I mean, the market is just nothing really more to add. The market is just continuing to move down. 500, 600. Well, we're going to get a thousand point day. Take a look at the SPY. Wow. You know what? You're right. The case, I mean, it's so whippy. I mean, again, I would just not be wanting to go along anything right now. Just a minute, please, guys. Come on, one more leg. Well, I thought I was kidding, but we may touch 1,000 on the Dow. This is the big one though, the Nas. I mean, look at this. Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, this has been the bellwether, really. What are stocks like Zoom doing? I bet you they're down like 30, 40, 54. Okay, I was out. Wow. Okay, one moment, please. All right. What are you doing other than going down? Viavi. Wow, rocket, not. Oh, Devastation. Look at this. I see. Okay, I mean, take your pick. Oh, those. Well, let me just bring up one of them. Yeah, it's okay. Well, at least it's Nasdaq. I don't know. Yeah, not that many of us, especially low volume. I have no opinion on them at all. I don't look at anything under a dollar. So maybe somebody else will chime in, but I just don't look at anything like a dollar, under a dollar. But somebody else might have some ideas. I'm not familiar with them at all. Well, again, if you don't want to short, then you better just sit in your hands for the day, maybe. Well, I want to see if this one gets back down to 20 or so. I mean, I'm still interested in this one. Not today, but definitely interested in FMCI if they do follow through on this merger. Yeah, my lowest are I have less than 20. Yeah, it's going crazy. Just keep looking to see when the spy might find a little. I don't even want to call it support, but just stop, stop going down. So look at these SPACs. I mean, the SPACs are just getting killed right now. LCAA, which was just flying high at the beginning of the day. Okay, just watching this T-con. I don't want to see it move any higher here. I may not get my wish, but court. Let's take a look at court. Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, this might be just a momentary respite in this downward trend. I mean, it's hard to know. I mean, it's obviously following the market, like virtually every other stock. AQST, another one break. I mean, they're so extended. Underneath the whole number, but they're just so extended now. Okay, well, a little bit of a bottoming tail here. A little bit of a bottoming tail here on the SPY. Maybe that'll signify something, a bit of a bottom, maybe. But I'm still getting a ton of alerts, stocks making new lows, keep making new lows. Well, here's one of the ETFs for the pharma sector. I mean, they're trying to bounce a little bit here, but I mean, overall, I mean, just look what it's done over the last few weeks. So I don't know if a bounce is in sight yet. Guys, I'm just kind of, well, okay, a glimmer. What we call a glimmer of hope right there. There's a little bit of a green bar, well, maybe not. A little bit of a green bar maybe forming on the SPY in the 15 minutes. We still have 13 minutes for this one to close, so whew, okay, T-Con. Well, what did I say? If you guys were in the room last week, we talked about what are the best and worst months in the stock market, and historically, September has been the worst month. Now, if you love to short, it's been the best month, but I mean, it has been the worst month historically. I'm not saying this is going to happen this year, but meanwhile, NNVC, the big flyer from yesterday. Boy, this got a lot of room. It wants to go to if it wants to keep going down. Also, look at the low of yesterday, around $4. Oh, I can't. Well, maybe other people will have thoughts on the CDE. I don't have any. I can't give advice like that anyway. I mean, I have no idea what'll happen with CDE. Coeur d'Alene, or well, it used to be Coeur d'Alene, I think. Coeur d'Alene. Okay, so you're in a trade ideas trading room, and I know you're going to get a lot of opinions, okay? But, it's to ask for advice in a trading room like that, I'm not sure that's the best thing to do. I mean, you might get some opinions. Well, you're not, you probably get some opinions, but I mean, you really have to make up your own mind. Well, if you heard that elections make the stock market sketchy, then what do you think you want to do? And now somebody else could say, "Well, that's a lot of nonsense. This is what I think is going to happen." I mean, it's you know, this is your money. Like I'm not trying to I'm not trying to downplay what you're asking or anything like that, but to come into a room and sort of try to get advice from total strangers, it's a little tough. Opinions are endless, exactly. All right, well, that was short lived, guys. And that was a little red, little green candle. That was short lived. Now it's red, so we're still in a downturn. I guess is this an IPO? What a day for an IPO. INAQU. Let me just do a check. Yeah, this is an IPO today. Oh, this is one of these. Yeah, this is one of these SPACs, really. Acquisition Corp. I'm assuming it is. I may be wrong, but I'm assuming it is. Who's behind them? Yeah, I don't even know. Cantor, Cantor for. Hmm. Tough day to do an IPO. All right, well, still glimmering green here, just a little glimmer. Maybe a little bottoming tail. Maybe we're going to get a little bounce. Yeah, listen, I don't want to be mean or anything like that. I mean, people come in here looking for. I hate to call it advice. I can't give advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But a a general question like that, should I sell my stocks because I hear this? And I'm not trying to pick on you specifically. Just general questions like that. Should I sell this because I've heard this? I mean, this is you're gonna go, as they say, you'll get a lot of opinions in a trading room. Um, these are all strangers. You don't know us. And a lot of us in this room are short-term traders anyway, so we're not so concerned about, what the market's going to be like 2 months from now. Well, another one. I'm just wait. Okay, guys, maybe there's a little. This now it's green, still green. We have 5 minutes for this candle to close. Let's see if we can get our first green bar of the day after that first, the little one at 9:45. Mm-hmm. I have no space. I need my third monitor. I get it finally. I get it tomorrow. Okay, guys, listen. FMCI may be getting a little interesting here. We've got these three bottoming tails. I mean, I like I think like most stocks today, highly dependent on what the SPY does. So, but we've got these three bottoming tails here. Sellers have been really trying to knock this down. That was a big candle, but along with the SPY. No, it was no the monitor, the power source went. Yeah, thank goodness it wasn't computer related. Okay, guys, I'll be taking my break in about a little over 10 minutes. Hey, I'm fine. How are you? Again, this one is completely a counter trend. VHC, the old patent troll, suing Apple every day, every week, every month, every year. I've seen these guys, I swear, for 10, 15 years. I may be exaggerating, but that's all they seem to do. Yeah, there's no substitute from looking at thousands and thousands of charts, sizing them up very quickly. That's one aspect of it, of course. And again, we have our simulator here. So again, before you commit money to the market, practice. It's using our real-time data. You don't even need a brokerage account. It's using our real-time data. I will guarantee you this: if you cannot make money paper trading, you will definitely not be able to make money when it comes to having your own money in the market, your real money in the market. If you can make money paper trading, it doesn't mean you're going to make money once you commit money to the market. Also, though, once you commit money to the market, emotions, like your emotions go crazy. And it still happens. I mean, even to me, you look at your P&L and you start to second guess a few things here and there. But one thing, always, always, even though I know one person is going to say I don't have a stop, always have a stop. So if the trade goes against you, get out for a manageable loss. No, Sam, there isn't. I mean, we have the Trader's Vault that has a lot of strategies in there, and we have, I'm sharing a lot of strategies, but no, there isn't one that you're looking at or like that. Oh yeah, I mean, well, the only thing is with me, I mean, if I take a loss, I take a loss, but it's always the only time it will not be a manageable loss, and I can't remember the last time that happened, is if it somehow blows right through my stop. Okay, that's the only time, but I just can't remember that the last time it happened. All right, guys. Well, what did I say about this FM? Now it's moving with the market. FMCI, it's moving with the market. Those bottoming tails were a bit of a tell, but it's moving with the market. Now, do we trust this move that we're going to continue? I mean, that's the whole thing. So that's why I'm saying there's another aspect of trading. You want to go long something, you have to check to see what is the overall market doing. Is it trending for you? EDF, I don't know that one at all. Stone Harbing, oh, it's an income fund of sorts. Okay. All right, guys, I just have to check to see who is on today in the YouTube room. Well, look at this one. EBON actually is bucking the trend a little bit here. EBON. We have a halt here, BCTG. This looks like this is actually an IPO. Another, let me just check. I think it's an IPO. And the answer is yes, BCTG is an IPO. Who's behind this one? Yeah, nobody big anyway, so, but it is an IPO. Terrible day for doing an IPO, but let's see what the IPO price was before I say that. Priced, I don't even see a price, 14.5 million shares, but I don't, maybe around $10 or so, around 10. Well, it'll be in the same direction. So if you're looking, their only one today is WSM. So our re-entry at 87.96 to potentially reshort it. So it's always going to be in the same direction. So if it was a short, then it's going to be a short again. What's an IPO? BCTG, yeah, it is an IPO. So, and I believe it's at 10. I think it's 14.5 million shares, raising $145 million. So I think it's at 10. So a little bit above the IPO price. Well, it's just the way I can make. It's just the way it is on an IPO, I guess. I don't even have a way to, it's just an IPO. Days of IPOs, you get the big fat bars. Okay, well, okay, so we had a green bar. We have a very narrow green bar. You know, if we could take this out right up here, we may have a bit of a rebound starting. Remember, the markets were down around 700. Now they're only down 540. This was down, was it down 600? NAS is, popping a little bit. FMCI, definitely a nice bottom pick right here on those. Oh, there, in fact, there it goes again. Just look at the bottoming tails. Big, big clues, bottoming tails. Again, what does that mean? It means, at one point the sellers had it down to that, and on this candle right there, sellers had it down to this level. Buyers brought it up, so there's where it closed. Sellers tried again. Buyers brought it up here. Sellers tried again. Buyers brought it up here. And then when the market finally started to move a little higher, the buyers are now in control for a while anyway. Sellers finally gave up, said, okay, you guys can have it for a while. Look at this topping tail and bottoming tail, almost symmetrical. All right, so Jamie is back in the YouTube feed. You guys want to go to the YouTube feed from 12 to 1. You can hear Jamie Hodge. Excuse me. Whoops. Good. And let me just give you the link for the YouTube feed. Because I'll be taking a break right around noon. Okay, guys. Well, keep looking at this spy right there. All right, guys. I'm just going to put the announcement in the room. Okay, guys, red bar, red bar. This could be this could turn into a green bar ignored. So, the downtrend, pause in the downtrend. If that red bar goes below the low of that green candle, look out. Okay, Jamie, I will stop the YouTube feed.
Hello, everybody. Testing, testing, one, two, three. Hello, everybody. Okay, I think I'm live, ladies and gentlemen. If someone could use the questions panel, or the chat panel, I should say, just let me know that you can hear and see okay. Thank you, Jatinder. Hi. Okay, looks like everything's working. Excellent. Let me do a little rearranging here real quick. Okay, everybody. Welcome to the live support session. Decent little crowd in here, so just a friendly reminder, Barry's taking a break. This is the hour that we allocate for the live support session, where you can get any questions hopefully answered about trade ideas, any of the aspects of trade ideas, whether it be brokerage plus, AI, alert windows, just, anything is fair game. So, if you have a question, go ahead and get it out there. In the meantime, what is this strange color that we're seeing today? Well, finally, SPY got a little ahead of itself yesterday after that last little run. And now we're taking a test back down to the 10 period, as you can see right here. Will that be the stopping point? Unknown. Looks like it is for now, but I tell you what, let me get my pin up and running here. Okay, asking about NNVC. Sure, hold on one second. Just checking the stop I've got in place. NNVC, let's take a look. All right, seems to be going with the market. This one had a nice little run up here yesterday. And now we've got this action on the 15. Pretty much selling off with everything else today. But if we're looking for a stopping point, I mean, anything in this prior day is pretty much fair game at this point in time. It really just all kind of hinges on, has the bottom been put in on the SPY? We can see the wick right here. That was the short-term low at, what do we have here? 345.20. So this is where all eyes are focused right now. Is the bleeding done for the day? Is this 10 period over here going to act as the backstop, or do we take an excursion on down to the 20 today? Which, looking at this area right here, the momentum seems to be slowing down a little bit as far as the volume goes in the smaller time frames that we can see right here on the SPY. These volume levels on the smaller time frames, the 1, the 5, and the 10, have all been 300, 400 for most of the session. That's why we're seeing this 3.42 in relative volume. These are starting to slow down. Okay, so the bottom could be in, but if we start to see these guys accelerate leading to this low, well then, we might have more downside action. But for now, just got to wait and see. But getting back to NNVC, just appears to be doing what the rest of the market is doing. A little bit different on the on its bottom out right here, putting in the wicks right here. So pretty much the same song and dance as what we're seeing in the SPY right now. And having said that, it's good to see the AI in a nice little grouping of shorts today. Got off to a bang-up start. Of course, it's had its losing trades today as well. but the PD was up pretty good at one point in time, up over 2 points there. CPB trying. And ACIA off the bottom. Getting a pretty nice little move there from 67 and a quarter basically down to, well, not quite a point there. Okay, Jatinder, and I'm assuming this is when you're trading live at IB, right? Or just want to clarify it's live? Or are you using their simulation mode? Because whether it's sim or live, if you're using a limit offset of -5, okay, whatever the signal price is at the time and you up your bid by 5, then your slippage could be 10 cents, okay? Right, so you're saying the price that you got is 10 cents worse than the AI price? Because if you're using a limit offset of -5 and you got the fill, and I'm not sure which stock you might be referencing there, but right, well, the reason we use an aggressive delta in the negative format is to ensure the chances of getting a fill, okay? And obviously the higher we go, the higher the chance of getting the fill. But take the stock in question. When you say it's filling you with a 10-cent offset, are you actually referring to your fill price versus what the AI is showing? Or is this a strategy that you created? Because I would think that that's the case. MYOV, right? So that's from a strategy that you created and are automating, yes? I guess the question is, you said you got filled with a 10-cent offset, but what is that in reference to? The price that was marked in maybe your alert window that you're automating showed a price X, but you were filled 10 cents above that. Is that correct? Okay, on a short sell. Okay. Right, so the stock had moved before your limit went in. So in essence, that's your slippage, okay? If your alert window is set or showing a price at the time of 1945, so your slippage on that trade was 23 cents, more than likely because it was a fast moving stock at the time, as all the stocks this morning were moving around pretty briskly. In a fast market, a 20-cent slip is not shocking, because in a quote-unquote regular market, a lot of the times when I'm doing automation, whether it's live or in paper mode, a 10-cent slip is expected from time to time. Sometimes you're going to get 1 or 2 cents of slippage, 3 cents. But in a normal market, not as fast as we had today, depending on the stock, how fast it's moving, and the spreads that are there, slippage is just part of the game, and in a fast market, it's going to be worse. The only risk you run with decreasing your limit delta is you might not get the fill. Now, if you go +2, you're actually going to be going outside of the market. In other words, let's just say stock XYZ was triggered at 10 and you were trying to buy it. If you had a negative delta, your order would go in to buy at 10.05. But if we had a positive 5 delta and the signal came out at 10, it would throw a bid out at 9.95. So unless that stock backed up and filled you, you wouldn't get the fill. Right, whatever the signal is. So once again, if we use XYZ stock was signaled at 10 and you had a negative 5 delta, it would put your price out, your limit, at 10.05. Now, if the offer was 10.05 or less, it would auto-execute. But if the stock had moved past 10.05, it would simply put your limit order out there at 10.05. And then if you used a 0, let's say XYZ was triggered at 10, it's just going to put your bid out at 10 or your short out at 10. So a 0 negative or a 0 delta is just putting out a limit price at the exact price of the alert. Hopefully that makes sense. Trying to find where my brokerage plus went here. Ah, there we go. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. Okay, so what I've been doing today is automating Holly. Okay, we can see over here, activated all the strategies. This is in our simulation mode. So let's just take a peek here at what kind of slippage has been present. And that's what our simulator is pretty good at marking the correct prices. Let's take a look here. Okay, so first on the list, PD. Notice the AI, and I'll get my pen over here. Notice the AI marked its price at the signal price of $26.99. But look at my fill price even in sim mode. And this is a short, so the lower the price, the worse the slippage. 99 cents, the AI marked it. That's when the alert came out. By the time I got filled, which is where the stock was, by the time my order went out, I took 8 cents of slippage on this one. Okay, $26.99, and my fill was $26.91, resulting in 8 cents of slippage in PD. Let's take a look at INFN. INFN 633. The computer marks its price. Only a 1 penny slip in INFN. Yeah, Jatinder, it's the reason we use an aggressive delta is because it's not as aggressive as a market order. Because with a market order, especially when we're dealing with statistical strategies, the goal is to be in all the trades, right? So you have the best chance of the odds actually playing out. So we know that if we run market orders, we're always going to get the fill. It's just that slippage is going to max out. That's on the long side. On the short side, we should get our fill if we're running a market short order, but you have to keep in mind every once in a while a short order is going to get rejected because it's on the hard to borrow list. Okay, so the kind of the hybrid, the step in the middle is not using a flat limit. In between market order and flat limit, we can choose to use a delta. Now, my personal preference is a negative 0.08. That's what I like to use because it's aggressive, and if the spread isn't more than 8 cents and the stock isn't just ripping too fast, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get the fill, but you will miss one every once in a while. So if I come over here to my AI tab and I right click and I say edit long trading instructions, you can see right here I've been using a minus 0.07. And as you can see here, positive is outside, negative is inside. So my favorite is right about the negative 8 cent level. Now, sometimes you're going to devise a strategy that might be a little different. Maybe it's spreadier stocks, okay? Maybe these are bottom fishing stocks where, convergence to the mean is coming into play. You might not want to put your order in immediately. If we were trying to find the best order entry for, say, catching that falling knife, it looks good in retrospect on a chart all the time. But on those types of plays, instead of going inside, you want to let the price come to you, and that's when you would use a positive delta. Yeah, I can drop a video into the panel here for Brokerage Plus setup, and then I'll talk a little bit about pre-market Brokerage Plus activity here. Hold on one second. Okay, for AS, this is the link that I just dropped into the chat panel to walk you all through Brokerage Plus setup with IB, both in live mode and in simulated mode. Everything you need to know about that is going to be contained in there. As far as pre-market trading goes with Brokerage Plus, mental note here, the AI will never trade pre-market, okay? Now, if you design a strategy that functions pre-market, you simply would load it into your strategies column right here and go in and set up the trade instructions. But before I get ahead of myself here, let's check it out. Okay, I'm going to go into edit my trading instructions. Okay, and this is what I was afraid of. Okay, notice when we go in to set up our strategy start time for Brokerage Plus, our own strategies that we configure, there's no option to launch a strategy pre-market in here. Okay, this is 8:30 Central Standard Time when the market opens. So at this point in time, your strategy might fire pre-market, but as far as automating goes, you can't tell it to start pre-market. So that's where you're going to run into pre-market trading issues using Brokerage Plus. And as far as I know, there's no way around that at this time. Okay, so circling back around, Jatinder, to the, I'll get back in here to my order details, and this is just on a regular strategy, not the AI panel. So, for example, let's pretend for a moment that I was devising a strategy where a stock's been getting beat down, beat down, beat down. You never know where it's going to stop, okay? We can always consult the daily chart to try to figure out what the next level of apparent or possible support might be. But the bottom line is, when that signal comes out, more than likely you're not catching the exact bottom, but you think you might be close, okay? So let's say a stock came through the ticker. Let's say stock XYZ came in at 20 bucks. So instead of just throwing your bid out right then and probably getting filled and having the thing move down lower, we could say, you know what? It just hit 20. I think 1975 might be a good place to put a bid out. Okay, so in that case, if I used a positive 0.25 delta, then when the signal hits at 20, the system's automatically going to put a bid in for me at 1975 with a positive delta going long on a stock that's currently going down. Okay. Right, and Jatinder, high slippage day in auto trading today, no big shocker. You know, we've had a very active and fast moving market to the downside. So big slippage today, that's just that comes with the territory. Doesn't matter if it's big upside, big downside, whether we're going long or short. In a fast market, slippage is always going to be worse than it is in a quote-unquote normal market. Yeah, and it's a very good habit to get into logging your slippage, just like you log anything else in your trading program. Come up with average slippage, you know, as we were kind of pointing out earlier. you know, get a 9-cent slip in PD, get a 1-cent slip in INFN. Let's take a look at Campbell's Soup on the short. The system is marking 50.26. Actually, that's me. Hold on. Campbell's 50.29 entry, only a 3-cent slip in Campbell's. WSM 87.77, 7-cent slip in WSM here. Yeah, Jatinder, that's just a personal preference. I just use a good old-fashioned spreadsheet. And we're trying to get some strength here. Notice what we're doing on the S&P as we grind sideways. The 10 period is going to come into play pretty quick here. And when we get up and we test this 10 period, I think that'll be the catalyst. We'll either stay below it. You know, if we get a close, once we get up here and start punching on this 10 period, if we get a close below that 10 period, that's going to be a sign of weakness. Once we get up to that 10 period, if we close above it, well, then we might be by the dip mode. We'll just have to see here as time plays out. Whoops. No problem. Let me make sure I haven't missed any questions yet. Okay, Mick, I see your question there. Can you walk through a brokerage plus strategy using a buy stop order? Okay, you mean buy stop for entry? I think I understand the question here. Okay, so let's use. Okay, let's use. We'll just use the SPY as an example here. Here we are looking at the 15-minute candles. I'm thinking to myself, okay, if it breaks this little range here, let's see, the high there was 349.31, 349.40. Okay, so let's say if the SPY gets up to 349.41, we want to get in it with an auto buy. Okay, so what we would do is let's put something random in here. 100 shares. What did I say my price was again? 349.41. Oops. Okay, here's the kicker. 349.41. Okay, here's the trick. Stop price 394.41. Make sure that this field is blank. If that field is not blank, it'll do that. Okay, so buy. Now when I come over to my orders and go to live, okay, see there's my order right there, a buy stop waiting to get me in, using that as an entry. As soon as it goes up there and prints 349.41, then it will get me into 100 shares of the SPY. Notice we don't see any SPY here yet. But if you don't leave this field blank, that's when it'll buy it at market. So, Mick, I think that's what you were getting at there. You just make sure you're using the stop price field. Make sure this field is blank, and then you're good to go. Sure. Notice if I go to my strategy panel right here, these are the strategies. This is my chart default long. But any like strategy that you set up here, notice when I go to right click and I say trade SPY, it's going to list off all the strategies that I have so that I can just easily click on the one and get it done. Because Whereas this is actually a strategy. This is actually a strategy. This is for my buy and sell buttons up here. Okay, I could click on my buy and come down here and set a buy limit. Okay, now I've just input a buy there because I've set up a strategy and called it my default chart long strategy in case I want to use these buttons here. All right, but we can also just set up a simple right click entry, based on your parameters. Okay, when I right click up here and I click on this strategy, I just want it to buy me 100 shares at the market and put a stop loss in at this level. Okay, so you can set up order entry to act as a right click order entry script for right click, one click trading, and not necessarily have a strategy in there, just the trade instructions. And then they'll show up every time you right click and say trade. You'll have access to those scripts or strategies that you want in here. So Mickey, let me know if that makes sense or if I need to put a little bit more detail into that answer. Well, that's always going to be dependent upon price, right? So there's not really a way to articulate that into the system. If you're going to do buy stops to enter a position, I would use the panel down here because you always have to know, what price level you're wanting to use for that buy stop entry. There's no way to create a one click because the charts are always going to be different in that capacity. Yeah, Jatinder, if you had this price field blank and then you put your buy stop price in here, you have to make sure that this field does not repopulate, okay? Sometimes it does. But if you do it in this capacity, it should not fill up market. You got to make sure the price field is absolutely blank and your numbers are only in the stop price field. Because if you just click in that field, it automatically populates it again. So before you ever hit the button, you always have to come back here and go, okay, is my price field blank? And am I just utilizing my stop price? Now, when you have a live position on the screen, it is very easy just to right click and set a stop loss. But if you're using stop loss as an entry, I would use these fields. Right, it's tricky. Sometimes you click in there and you don't mean to when you're trying to use this field, right? It's got to make sure it's blank. All right, it feels like the market's trying to calm down. We're seeing 5-minute volume almost get back to normal, still about 40% above. 1-minute volume is already falling below normal, so we should see it feed, assuming this stays low, we'll see it feed over into these longer time frames here. Well, thank you, Jatinder. Glad to bestow some info on the crowd today. And it looks like Holly's definitely clammed up. No signals. Well, actually about 10 minutes ago. IMMR. Well, just another stock today doing what the market's doing. My eyes kind of gravitate to this level here on the daily. Potential support right here. Of course, we know that stocks go up on the staircase and then they take the express elevator down. So, look how many candles back here that this one is engulfing. And notice IMMR butting right up to that 20 period SMA that we see right here. It careened right through its 10 period. Now we got the 10-20 sandwich. Maybe that's the stopping point. Just like we put in this perfect wick on the SPY. If we can hold, that could be the nice little flush that the market needed before we can snuggle up and try to go higher. Yeah. VIX doing its thing. Everybody buying their insurance. And, trying to trying to pick the tops in this market is just like trying to pick the tops in anything. It's a brutal game to play. If you're just off a smidge on the timing, you were right. Just the timing was a little bit off. So once again, timing. Which is when you're trying to pick tops and bottoms, it's a lot more logical to reduce your share size and expand your stop areas. Surprised to see such a large number of stocks coming through my, actually, FNGD's hogging up the screen most of the day. GoGo had an awesome day yesterday. It's like surely GoGo's not going to go up again today, and of course it's getting a little pullback. Can I share the volume window? Are you referring to these guys right here, Jason? These two alert windows in the bottom corner here? Oh, and we got another play from Holly along on a small dollar stock, Rail. Well, at least Rail is bucking the trend today. Take note of the 10 period here as it controls the action. Big day yesterday, another big day today. Interesting. You got that right, Siggy. So Jason, real quick, one more question. When you're asking for me to share the volume window, are you talking about these guys here? Or are you asking about maybe my little index monitor up here? I'd be more than happy to share the window if you just tell me which one it is. Duluth. Those guys have some pretty funny commercials. If that's who I'm thinking of. Yep. The clothing commercial. Or the clothing company, I should say. But you'll notice not a whole lot of follow through on these upside players today. They're either flatlining or giving some back. FNGD, FANG index, no big surprise there. The inverse. All the action was in the red side today. Some nasty opening candles, but when this little guy released, it gave away a little bit, but off the bottom now. Boy, the SPY just won't quit. is not a good sign. Volume staying above normal. And I think, Jason, you're probably referring to this window because that's where we were looking at the volume. So I'll just go ahead and drop that in the chat window. Looks like we might be going to test the lows on the SPY. Boy, and the Q's unrelenting on the volume too. Boy, what trickery there. That looked like a very strong close. But the old banana in the tailpipe with the gap down and the continuation today. Yeah, that's right, Siggy. And then, keep in mind the IWM it can't do what it needs to do. IWM still pretty good distance from all-time highs. And that's typically the sign, or one of the bigger signs in the past, is when the junk stocks finally get up there and start running. But we have yet to see that. Let's take a look at the weekly here. So yeah, looks like death and destruction right now. The sky is falling. But check out the weekly candles, You know what? If we pulled back to 339, ain't no biggie. If we're establishing a new range up here before we can push higher on these weekly candles. So, it's totally conceivable to see this pull back to the 339 level. Don't really want to see it, but it's completely on the table. Yeah, Mike Dunn, and we could create a new sitcom out of that. Bosom buddies, right? Boy, it sure feels quiet out there. Could be the calm before the... Could be real calm, or could be the calm before the storm. Oh, yeah. I mean, theoretically, as long as there's action, it doesn't really matter to me whether it's upside or downside in the trading world. Back in the olden times, late 90s, leading up to the 2000 craziness, we were in a perpetual bull market, but back then we still made probably most of our trading income on the short side. But then again, the market was a completely different animal from a mechanical standpoint back then. We just like that because the moves are quicker. And the moves to the downside are still quicker. That has not changed. But getting access to the liquidity and fair prices definitely has changed. Pardon me, guys, just checking on a message real quick. Just keeping an eye on my P&L blotter here, and what do we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're still overweighted to the long side here, and the blotter is still green. Just a testament to the power of statistics. Of course, we were a lot greener back here. Yeah, the shorts are definitely a bit sexier because, well, the action is a little bit more brisk. Everybody likes a good short sell. Well, I can't say everybody. I do. It's going to be interesting when, at Robinhood right now, you cannot short sell. It would only make sense that they would eventually bring that into the equation. A little factoid is that Robinhood is doing more volume than Ameritrade and E-Trade combined without short sells. So just think what's going to happen when they do enable short selling. In essence, Robinhood has Ubered the brokerage space. And this volume will not slow down. It's trying. All right, guys, bear with me. I've got to refill my water tank here real quick. I'll be back in a flash. There we go. Much better. All right, everybody. Questions panel seems to be good to go. I don't think I've missed anybody. What's going on with Voozy? Voozy does not care. Where do we open here? 395. We're already up at almost 450. Interesting. Looks like it might want to take a little excursion up to close to 5. It's definitely got some volume in it today. 7.45 on the relative, but just about everything out there has higher than normal relative volume for now. Shh, everybody be very, very quiet. I'm hunting wabbits. Voozy, what's the float in that one? Not the smallest float, but not the biggest either, 35 million. Thing did clip off 2.7 million shares in this current 15-minute candle. Could have been a big block trade, or who knows. All right, Mick, let's take a peek at RKT. All right, well, it appears to be, we're looking at weekly candles over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a youngster, all right? It's only been out for a while. Just kind of, well, I got to mark off this wick up here. That is the high for the week. Up here, that's the high of this candle that we're in. 34.42, so it's peeled off considerably from its highs. It's a young stock. Let's take a look at the daily, though. Well, before yesterday's close, I would say, this is where I would think it might find some support. But we had a gap down today, obviously. Earnings were yesterday. Yep. So obviously earnings came into play, and I'm assuming that's why it gapped down today. Um, Key level right here, this 10-period moving average. If we close here today, then just eyeballing the chart here, I would think that this level could be in play right here. This little rounded bottom horseshoe pattern could potentially act as the next level of support. Yeah, Siggy, you and me both. We've all been waiting on the swing trade AI for quite a while, and hopefully our wish will come true and it'll actually get released in the not too distant future. All right, Tom, just reading your question here. Yeah, now keep in mind, Brokerage Plus, there is a little bit of lag. Now, uh, are you referencing, are you in live mode or demo mode? Let's just find a position here to close. I'm going to buy something and then sell it real quick. Right, there is a little bit of a lag on the simulator. So let's just get an example up here. Let's say I'm going to buy 100 shares of FTK. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay, it popped in. I guess I missed it. Okay, so FTK is there. Ah, that was already a Holly play, though. Wasn't it? Yeah, okay. Well, let me pick one that Holly is not in. All right, she's not in Duluth. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that took about 4 or 5 seconds to pop in on Duluth. Now watch when I flatten it. 1, 2. Okay, so there's always going to be a little bit of a lag on the simulator. It could be 1, 2, 3, or 4 seconds. Don't really have a remedy for that right now. That's just the way the sim works. Now, having said that, I'm always punching trades off on live Brokerage Plus to IB, and the lag is not like that. Okay, it seems to be just the simulator. Barry's going to be back in about 13 minutes, Jatinder. Siggy, I believe that was Andy that did the stocks like this to try to find setups similar to Neo. Yeah, Tom, it seems to be isolated to the demo, or excuse me, the paper mode. Yeah, you know what, Siggy, I'll hit up Andy on a back channel here and see if he has that window. All right, we'll see what Andy comes back with. Is there any way to do a back test with insider trading? You always forget if that one's in the fundamentals or not. I don't think so. Let's see here. Well, you can do held by insiders. And yeah, that's, you said insiders, not institutions, right? You can only backtest with, obviously, if the filter is there. And with insiders, you could do what percentage of outstanding shares are held by insiders, but not necessarily buys, because that information is only in the single stock window where we can see the buys and the sells. So unfortunately, you can't use this data in a backtest. Will it survive? Obviously, our limit order has not been hit. Neo putting in a strong showing today. If we're looking at moderate profit, not too bad on conservative as well. Campbell's, what a beautiful little entry there. Where might it stop? I mean, it looks like we're at the stopping point for Campbell's for now. But you never know, on a day like this, they might push it down just a little further. Bottom of these wicks over here. Might have another 30 some odd cents left in it. Or at least that's the next stop on the train track. If the selling continues. And take a look at the volume on good old Campbell's Soup, 5.23. So if things were to get really heavy, we could even go test these levels as well. All right, about 7 more minutes till Mr. Barry's back. Shiloh remaining strong. We got some big relative volume, 127. And check out the float on this little guy. Only 15 million shares in the float. So when the volume comes in, these guys tend to move in good percentage values. Ah, nice. That sounds like an Andy created strategy. So I wouldn't know off the top of my head how to recreate that, but you could probably get the link. You've got the strategy already, correct, Chris? Ah, I thought you were asking me to create it. No, Andy created that one. Plenty on the 20. What was the? We were looking at a stock earlier that was, well, it's looking like the SPY might be plenty on the 20 pretty soon here. That's the dark red line. No, I cannot take credit for that one. That is Mr. Andy Linloff's creation. But just keep in mind, you can take any old top list, right? And we take the change from the 20 period SMA, and we just show it as a column. And then we sort it accordingly. So for the stocks that are going to be right at the 20 period, you can easily zoom in. You know, end of day scanning, this is really handy for. So you just pop whatever your metric is. Different people, different times, 30 minutes before the close, 15 minutes before the close. If you zero in on all the slightly positive values or zeros, you're going to find all the ones that are right there butting up to that 20 period, all right? So based on the action today, you know, where we are in the daily, you can make some pretty good entries towards the close based on stocks that are hugging the 20 period or any other moving average that you prefer. IMMR, I think that's the one we were looking at earlier. Just boom. Right at the 20. Feels like we're heading up. It's trying. The market is really trying to make a last stand here. A little bit more time. We can't quite catch up to that 10 period, so it's going to be interesting. So Jatinder, are you talking about this top list or the plenty at the 20? Because I don't know if I've got it in here. I don't have it in my cloud. I must have forgotten to save it when I loaded it up that day. Well, I'm not getting any chatter back from Andy here on that other request. But anybody that does want plenty on the 20, all you have to do is send an email and request that strategy. info@trade-ideas.com. Just say, hey, I'd like to get the cloud link for Andy's plenty at the 20 strategy, and it'll get routed right over to you. No problem. All right, I see it's 2 minutes till. So let me check with Barry here. All right, so Barry's ready to take the steering wheel. So thanks everybody for popping in. It's been a pleasure. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.
put myself on mute. Something's gone wrong with the YouTube feed, so give me a moment here. Off. Okay, now you should be able to hear me. Okay, interesting. I was posting and it kept saying that the chat had been disabled, so that's why I thought I was out. Okay, guys, I will have to do my video anyway right now, so I got the echo going. Just a second. All right, guys, so I'm going to do my video now, so I'll be back at about All right, guys, I'm back. Let's get rid of the message. Uh-oh, where are you? Okay. Boy, this has been choppy. VUZI has been very choppy. Yeah, that AGTC, I mean, maybe a little bit of a downturn, but not much yet. Looking, I mean, if it gets to 650, I mean, that looks like a good area for it to stall. Couple of couple of topping couple of tops of those two weekly candles for AGTC right there around 650. Volume still picking up a little bit. I don't have that scan, no. Plenty on 20, I guess that's a 20 day moving average. I don't have it. It sounds like something that Steve or Andy would have had. Andy, yeah. Just, you know what I'll do for you? I will. See a second here. Hopefully he's reading this. See if he answers me, okay? Oh, there it is, Chris. I'm sorry. Chris posted it in the tech support. Okay, JB, just check the tech support. The link is there. Okay, well, JB, you cost me money, so I was looking to short that AGTC and finding that link for you, I didn't do it. So thanks a lot. Now, anybody coming in new, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding that I didn't short it. I wanted to short it, but I'm just kidding. It's going to be fascinating tomorrow, guys, to see what if we get a bounce, a big bounce in the, especially in the techs, or will we have another even negative day? Because I'm looking at a lot of these tech plays that were pretty strong. I'm still, I don't know why, but I'm fixated. Not that this is a true tech play. I mean, it is a tech play, but the FMCI, I am sort of fixated on it. Well, look at Vuzi now. Vuzi chopped around here for a while. Well, the volume's picking up for you. Nice volume, nice little break here. KCAC. So you've got that going for you. I'm sure you're aware of that. What is the spread? Actually, not a terrible spread. Yeah, hard to believe regarding Macy's. Hard to believe. Just based on what it did yesterday. You know, had earnings yesterday, had a great start to the day, and just sold right off. And then with the market doing this, you would not think a stock like Macy's would rally. You know, I don't know what's going on. Oh, a reimagined Thanksgiving Day parade. Well, I liked it yesterday. I thought, yesterday when it, when, because it gapped up above this, and I thought, okay, it has a chance to start filling in this void to 10. And it started off gangbusters yesterday, and then it just sold right off. I don't know about safe stocks. I mean, I don't consider I don't consider Macy's a safe stock. I don't know if you're kidding. Okay, well that might help. I'm assuming. I'm assuming it was. He was just kidding. Yes. Okay. God, I think Vuzi has to stall up here again. View is that I. Yeah, I think he was just kidding, Zach. It was just sarcasm. All right, guys. I'm just kind of waiting to see if the Vuzi stalls. No, okay. I see what you're doing here. It's a rally on for PD. Nice, yeah, good volume that's coming in also. Almost got right down to that 200-day moving average. 100-day moving average 24.43, and the low was 24.60. So it's just within 17 cents of the actual number. Okay, guys. Well, just really not doing too much of anything right now. I mean, this looks like a really interesting looking short based on that weekly chart or the monthly chart. Look at these topping tails. SPWH. Well, I mean, I wish I'd had it earlier. Obviously, I mean, there is a big topping tail there. That's a big topping tail. Buyers got it all the way up here. Sellers have knocking it down. I mean, I'm not saying it can't rebound, but it Right now, sellers are in control. Depends on what you mean by the last time. I mean, it got actually up to 450 not that long ago. August 13th, less than a month ago, had that incredible day. Well, you might get your wish, William. I don't know about the best, but so real. This is what I don't quite get. So I understand. I know those are extension levels or extended levels, I guess. Date points 473, 470. So let's say it hits 473. What do you do? And it goes down to 471. Let's say for argument's sake, do you short it? Or do you wait for even some more confirmation? Like that's what. Oh, okay, 473. So, okay, so say okay, let's just say it hit 479. Do you immediately hop into the short? Like what gets you into the short at 479? Well, I guess I'd be watching it for a while, but let's just say it hit 479 and then it dropped to 475. Okay, would you take the trade? And then if it hit back up to 479, you'd get out and wait for the next level, 509, if it happened. Okay. Okay, so when you say the number of shorts, are you talking about how many shorts are available to short? In trade ideas, you can't see it. That because it's a broker deal. I mean, every broker will be different. Is that what you mean? How many shorts are available? Okay, right here. Short. It's called the short float percent. It gets updated every 2 weeks or so. Well, no. I mean, we get all this. Really, there's no such thing as real time for short float percent. Even I think there's a website out there called shortsqueeze.com. They get it maybe a couple of days before it's actually posted or something. I think Nat, but we virtually everybody gets it twice a month. Let's just say the 15th and the 30th. But even if you go to Short Squeeze, what they say is they'll get their data maybe a couple of days before. So there's no such thing as real time. In other words, it's not updated every single day. You were welcome. All right, guys, my alerts have completely dried up now. I'm just kind of watching the VUSI. Volume is picking up on the 15. Boy, a 2 minute chart. I haven't looked at a 2 minute chart in ages. Well, not dead yet. Just made over 480 now. Meanwhile, well, SPWH. I mean, there's just I don't see what's going to hold it up until you get down to 1350 on that weekly chart. Again, I'm not saying it's going to drop a dollar to get down there. I'm just looking at the chart. Okay, one moment, please. Shoot, I thought it was an early delivery for my monitor. But no. So where was I? Looking at VUSI on that monthly chart, looking left. 493 is the high. And then looking left over here, 5. Man, you would think, wouldn't you, that it would stall around 5? Well, never mind all that. This was a great alert here to go long. 1237 at $4.30. That was a great alert to go long. I've been messing around trying to short this thing, but which one, Chris? You talking about Vuzi? It's right here. Basic new highs, no repeat. Vuzi, 1237, $4.30, right here. Can you not see my screen? Well, it's exactly the same as the basic new highs, no repeat. Okay, I just delay this until 12:30, starting to get. So it's called it's essentially the basic new highs, no repeat, but I delay it until 12:30. And you know what? I'll just give it to you. I also changed the count so I can get it a little earlier. If you want to take a look at it. So, I mean, it gave some interesting ones. I mean, at 12:30, 610 for the AGTC. It got up to 640. I just see 161. It got up to 193. Of course, the Vuzi is, well, we're just been talking about it. I don't think the E-bond moved. 757. What did it get up to? Nah, not much. And the GTX, I don't think has moved. So these first three really. Yeah, I just, oh, or did I? Let me just see. I think it's 12:30. Yeah, 3 hours. Yeah, so it starts at 12:30. Big volume for Vuzi still. Look at the big volume coming in. Big volume right there on that 15-minute chart. What time is it now? 1:44. So it has less than a minute to close. Close in about 3 seconds. Could be it. Couple of topping tails now. Still a little unsettled. I mean, look at the bottoming tail on the 5 minute chart there, the topping tail there, and just kind of really trying to figure out which direction. I still think that 5 is going to be tough to get through. Big psychological number. A covered put on shell, okay? Hope that works out for you, PJ. Whoop. Big leg, little leg down now for Vuzi. Okay, guys, it is Thursday, so today there is a marketing meeting at 2 o'clock. So the Dow, I wonder if we'll get to 1,000. 820, I see it's around 828 down. Look at the SPY, 129. No, that is one big daily candle. SPWH continues down here. Yeah, that's a more, I don't know, call it surprising one, but I mean the comp down 600 is just. In the video I did, I talked about all the earnings plays that looked really excellent. You know, most of them released earnings after hours yesterday. And they all look so excellent going into earnings, like the Rocket and the Zuo and the PD and CrowdStrike, CRWD, so many of them. Another leg down in the market here coming. Look at this. Look at that red candle there. Are you talking about trading your live account, Joanne? Well, it should be right here in Brokerage Plus. You know, your max P&L, your total P&L for the day. I don't know if you have these. I don't know if you have these columns. Oh, I see. Yes, the positions tab. Yes. You can also, I mean, I never have this up, but the P&L graphs. If you click on that gear and type P&L graphs. No, no, look in Brokers Plus. I mean, this is in essence your brokerage account right there for the day. Okay, there's an I there. U2 R mill. I wasn't sure if that was R triple L or that was a little dot. Hey, no problem. All right, let's see if this is just a momentary pull up here for the SPWH. It's been doing that a little bit. Trend is still down. Stick an alert down here around 1445. Market is not helping it. Well, this one's still not over. AGTC pulled back, making another new high here. Original alert 610. SPWH is Sportsman. It's a stock symbol. SPWH is Sportsman's Warehouse. It's a stock symbol. And this is the daily. And this is the weekly chart. This is the monthly chart. 5 minute and 15-minute charts. All right, guys. So this marketing meeting is going to start in a few minutes. So I think I'll put myself on mute. Get ready for it. Maybe in a couple of minutes. So I'll put the announcement here, but I'm still here. Okay, right? Yeah, you too. Have a great long weekend. Looking forward to it. Not sure what we're going to do, but all right, guys. I'll put myself on mute right now. All right, guys, I'm now back. Okay, so the Vuzi, I did take a little bit of that. I'm out of it again. This has been just, yeah, this is just not wanting to collapse yet. A little tough one. So I'm all out of that one. And other one I was kind of looking at while I was in that marketing meeting was ODT. Big, this is the catastrophic drop. What, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, 1497 looked like the low. Over here, is that right? 1478 is the low, so it's right at that low. Might be still a little bit of support down here for ODT. Okay, Joanna, see you've been asking some questions. Yeah, Michael is really the B plus expert. He is he's on his honeymoon, so he'll be back on Monday. But as far as the AI tabs, here, I mean, there are a lot of. I mean, here you're talking about all these headers. I wouldn't worry about them all, to be honest with you. I mean, some of them, I mean, maximum profit time, maximum profit time of day. I mean, there's a lot of information here. To be honest, I think they should get rid of a lot of this stuff. I think it's too confusing for most people. I mean, this is what I use, not saying this is what you have to use, but for me, this is all I care about as an example. I wouldn't worry about so many of them. Okay? I mean, to me, you want the entry time, you want the entry price, last price, you want the stop, okay, and maybe the exit price and the exit time. I mean, even these, but and then just to explain the conservative or the aggressive and the moderate and the conservative profit percents. Again, I don't look at anything other than the aggressive profit percent column. But what this means is these are what if scenarios. What if you kept into the trade all day long? Okay? You just held it all day long and got out right at the end of the day. That's what that would tell you. The moderate is going to be exactly the same. Let me expand this window. The moderate will be exactly the same as the aggressive unless unless a stop got hit. And then it doesn't keep recalculating it. Okay? These are just what if scenarios. The conservative profit is getting out exactly when the AI got out. Remember, every AI strategy has typically a hold time or a reason for getting out. So you can see right here, CPB, the AI is not out of this one at all. Yeah, again, I understand the confusion, but I mean, just think of it like this. These are just what if scenarios. What if you got out when the AI got out? That's how much you'd be. What if you got out? What if you held it right to the end of the day unless a stop got hit? These stops. And this is what if you just held it for the end of the day? What would have happened? They're what if scenarios. That's all it is. And if you're trying to automate, I wouldn't be automating at all. Well, I would use the AI, but I would not be automating it. We don't. I mean, listen. Okay. If I still wouldn't even automate the entries. It's not like you have to get in right at the very time of the alert. You should be able to take a look at it, maybe check the chart. I mean, these things generally, I mean, even if you got in 5 cents, 10 cents later, after doing a little bit of checking, it shouldn't be the end of the world. And then we absolutely recommend managing the exits on your own. So it's not a matter when you say no AI. I mean, this is the AI. I use it like a watch list. Okay, I do not automate anything. I know that everybody wants it to be that you just turn it on in the morning and let it run all day, and count your money. Then yeah, no, we're just recommending no automation. Again, maybe on the entries, maybe, but absolutely manage the exits. Oh, look at this one now. It just popped up through. It's strong. Strong, strong, strong. That's the Vuzi. And maybe a little market attempt for a bounce, yes. Hi, Goods. Yeah, if Joanna, if you think that you're going to be able to just turn it on every day and let it run, I'm afraid yeah, it may not be for you. Love to be able to tell you that's all you have to do every day, but that's not real world, unfortunately. Guys, I'm getting more interested in this MCI, especially if the market bounces a little bit. What is the low today? All the way down to 20. Well, why did Tesla? Well, everything, if you want to call it crash, I mean, the whole market's down. So, Tesla just gets dragged down too. I mean, you could say that it's oversold or overbought earlier, but I mean, the whole market is down. I wouldn't be singling out Tesla's. It's down 8%. You're looking at the dollar. I mean, hey, that's $37. It's down 8%. But I mean, you look at the whole market. The whole tech market is just got killed today for a while. I'm more interested to see what happens tomorrow. Do we get another big down day? I mean, then we got something to be little concerned about perhaps, but let's just see what happens tomorrow. $150. All right, let's short it. So, what is the question? Like, why is ODT? I mean, ODT got hit horribly before, on this day right here. So now it's just continuing down. I'm not sure I understand the question. This is unrelated to what's happening to the market today. ODT got just creamed. I don't remember the reason why, but that's only what, a week and a half ago. I'm sorry, a good short to buy? I mean, is it good to short it now or is it good to buy it now? Yeah, and I can't give advice like that, okay? I mean, right now, if you look, you have to like look at the chart. So the next potential support area is just around 14, just under 14. Look at the day, look at that monthly chart. 1388, right around there, the lows of the bodies of those two candles. I mean, that might support it. But I mean, this is a stock that just got crushed. It had a little glimmer of hope this day, right? But I mean, now it's on a downward trend. I mean, you'd have to look. I don't know. I can't remember what happened. It's not an earnings play. I mean, there's no setup yet to buy it. There's no indication that it's going to bounce right now. I don't know if you can sort a multi-strategy window. Let me bring one up. I'm not sure you can. I can't remember. I don't have. Do I have a multi-strategy window up? No. I'll just bring one up and let's see if you can sort it. Okay. So what are you talking about here? So yeah. So the columns are not sortable. So can't do it. Yeah. Just can't do it. I don't know. I don't know. You're the first person to ever ask that question. That for me anyway. I mean, it might have been asked before, but I've never thought about being able to sort in the columns in a multi-strategy window. Let me just see one thing. I wonder if you can even do a view. I don't even think we have view mode. No. Okay. I know you're being funny. Sell C, D, E, and then buy before the end of the day. No, but he wants to sort. He wants to sort like, you can sort in the price. You can sort. Typically, sorting is not what you do for an alert window. Our sorting feature works well with the top list because you can rank the stocks differently by sorting on the different columns. I mean that's what really sort is all about. Not so much even in an alert window. You can create a different view by time and stuff like that, but really sorting in an alert window because you typically you want to see the last alert. So what is there really to sort on? I mean, why would you sort why would you sort on volume as an example? Um, I don't see the need for sorting in an alert window. But maybe I'm just looking at it differently from you. Hmm. So I don't quite understand, Sam. Regardless, it can't be done. So, yeah, well, look, I mean, the market is not cooperating. It's not bouncing at all. I mean, look at this. Look at the SPY on the 15. It's been chopping a little bit on the fives, but look at on the 15. It's just been there's been really no bounce. This has been really a no bounce day. I mean, you could argue a little bit of a bounce there, but this has been a no bounce trend day whatsoever. However, look at GTX. Look at GTX, just not a bounce, but GTX taking off here. At a little consolidation, volume picking up. All right, guys. Well, as usual, I'll shut the room down around 3. Very, very. Almost can't wait for tomorrow just to see what sort of day it's going to be. Will we have a continuation down, or will we have even if it's a mini bounce? If it's a mini bounce, we'll see a lot of great looking setups probably for some of these tech stocks that were beaten up today. Zoom, well, sort of really look at here. I mean, it's performing sort of like what the market's doing right now in the 15s anyway, just kind of flattening out. I mean, after that opening, hour, first 45 minutes, but it's getting hit like every other tech stock. Whether it recovers tomorrow or not, I mean, we just have to wait. Okay, when you say it shot up, it didn't pop up here. Where is here? Well, okay, I mean, I don't know if it popped. I don't know if it appeared on my scanner. One of the things, let me just see what sort of volume there is later on here. Oops, what is the symbol again? FVRR. Oh, I see. I see. Well, first of all, it's a okay. Well, it could have appeared here, but I have a price. I have a price limit. Okay, that. Well, did you? What is the price limit on it? I mean, I can't. It's hard for me to answer that. I mean, it wouldn't appear in anything that I've got because it's over $100, and I don't look at anything in that price range. But maybe you just do a right click and see what the price range was. I mean, that could be it. I don't know. So if you right click on the window, configure, and then similar or summary, sorry, see what the price range was. It's possible that was the problem. No, I can't share the entire layout, but what I do have, what you can do is if you click on the room drive icon and scans that I share, I have a lot of scans that I'm sharing. All right, you can kind of pick and choose. Sharing my entire layout. I have a lot of other Trader Joe's windows and other monitors. It'd be really the whole idea is you pick and choose what scans you might like. Certainly you can see the ones that are here. Okay? Because sharing everything, some people might not like every scan that I've got. So I just kind of say, okay, a la carte, pick and choose which ones you want. Just click on, you see the room drive icon right up here? See where it's called the room drive. It looks like a half open folder. Just click on that and then scans that I share. When you click on download, it'll go to a Word document. All the links will be there. Then you can just pick and choose which ones you want. All you have to do is copy the link in the Word document. Once it's copied, just file, load from cloud, and the link will appear here. And then you just load it. Okay? Want to make sure you got that. Okay, so can you see the room drive icon? Can you see where where the little hand is? You can see my screen, right? Okay, can you right beside I don't know what you guys see exactly, but it looks like a half open folder. Or just click on it. When you click, when you say you don't know how to pull it open, I don't know what you mean by that. When you click on it, this box should pop up. No? I don't understand what you mean. The window I have open now. You're talking about this window here that I'm moving around? I mean, you're in the trading room. You're in the off-topic tab, so you're correct. Can you not see all the icons somewhere? Well, did you get it? Or I want to help you. I do. You did get it. Is that yes, sir? You did get it? Okay. Okay. Okay, guys, and just one last. Tomorrow's Friday, so we'll still be able to make sure you guys see the new promo code for Labor Day holiday. All right, so there is the promo code you can use, Labor Day 2020. So Labor Day all in caps for 20% off the first month only or the entire year. If you click on my home page, you'll be brought to a lot of other links here. So there's the promo code right there, 20% off. Just click on Get Trade Ideas. You can see what sort of discount you'd get. Let's just do the premium. The premium is normally $22.68 a year. Let's do the purchase and type in the code. So you'd be down to $18.14 for your entire year. Now, you don't have to start off with an annual plan. You can always start off with a monthly plan. In fact, this is a great way just to try us out. The 118 less that 20% for the first month only, but if you decide that you'd like to upgrade, that you think it is the program that you want, and you want to upgrade, say from standard to premium or from a monthly to an annual, you do it within 30 days, we will honor that 20% promo code. All right, guys, I think that's it. I don't see any other questions, so thanks a lot for all the help. And we'll see you in the trading room tomorrow. I will open the room tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern. So have a great evening, everybody, and let's see what happens tomorrow, especially with the tech stocks. Could be a really exciting day if we get any sort of a bounce. We can pick up some of these tech stocks at somewhat bargain prices. So let's see what happens. So we'll see you then.